Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about chemical bonds. So what are chemical bonds? They're obviously bonds that occur in a chemical and they hold the atoms of a molecule together. I discussed what an atom is, what a molecule is in the ions, molecules, and compound video. An atom actually is more likely to form a chemical bond with another atom based on the number of electrons in the valence or the outer shells. There are three types of chemical bonds: ionic bond, covalent bond, and hydrogen bonds. So I'm going to talk about ionic bonds first. Ions, all right? Ions are formed when an atom loses or gains an electron, and then we call them ions. So we're going to have two types, an anion and a cation. An anion is going to be the atom that actually gained one or more electrons. So this is more likely to be an electron acceptor, and we give it a negative charge. So I talked about it in the previous video that since it's receiving, instead of us giving it a positive, it's actually receiving. That's why we're giving it a negative charge. A cation is going to lose one or more electrons. This is the electron donor. And because it's given away, think of, when you give something away, you're doing something positive. That's why we're giving it a positive charge. So the bond that occurs between the anion and a cation, again, is what we call an ionic bond. Another way to remember this is think transfer. There's going to be transfer of electron. So we can see in this example the yellow and the green. Sorry about that. And then we can also see that this yellow, which is going to be sodium, it only has one electron in its outer shell, right? And it's going to transfer that electron to chloride. This green that has 7 just needs 1 electron to make it complete. So as a result, we end up giving sodium, this yellow, a positive charge, and then we're giving chloride that received the 1 electron a negative charge. Another clue you can use to remember ionic bond is that most ionic bonds are going to be salts. So your typical table salt is an ionic bond. And also, this bond tends to occur between metals and non-metals. The second one is going to be covalent bonds. Covalent bond, think sharing of an electron. An ionic bond is going to be transfer, but this time it's going to be sharing. We can see here the carbon atom only has 4 electrons in its outer shell. It's far from its perfect 8. And hydrogen ions, all of them have 1 electron each. They don't want to transfer it, they don't want to donate it, which makes sense. So instead, they're all going to share this electron. So again, covalent bond is going to be the bond formed by atoms of molecules sharing 1 or 2 or 3 pairs of electrons. So we can see this nitrogen atoms are sharing 3 electrons. There are 2 types of covalent bonds, polar and nonpolar. In polar covalent bonds, they do not share their electrons equally, while in nonpolar, they are going to share their electrons equally. So an example of that would be oxygen. Another example would be nitrogen and methane gas. The third type of bond is going to be hydrogen bonds. So here we can see that hydrogen has a positive charge. Each of these hydrogen atoms have a positive charge, while oxygen has a negative charge. So the ends of these charges are going to align with one another. So we see the positive end of the water molecule aligning with another negative end of another water molecule. What we're actually seeing here is an example of a polar covalent bonds, meaning that they do not share their electrons equally. So this concludes the review on chemical bonds. Thank you.